welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Pam. I'm a junior at Florida State University and I'm majoring in international affairs at the moment. I have an option to choose a second major because I am ahead of my track. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet, but if I don't, that means I'm going to be graduating in the spring of 2020, which is next year, and that's crazy. So I've been at FSU for about 2 semesters, and this semester is winding down, and throughout my time, I've kind of gathered a few things that I love and a few things that I hate about FSU. But if you're a senior right now and you're trying to choose on whether or not you want to go to FSU, definitely take a look at this list. Also do some of your own research to see if FSU is a good school for you. I came up with a list of 6 things that I love and 6 things that I hate about FSU, so hopefully this will kind of help you make a decision on whether or not you want to come here. So the first thing that I think is pretty obvious about FSU that's a good thing and that's a pro about it is that it has really good academics. I know we're one of the top schools in the country for film and for criminal justice if you're deciding on majoring in that. I was actually my second major was actually criminal justice, but then I decided to drop it because I realized that I'm not really interested in that track. I definitely am more of like definitely liking the major that I'm in right now, and I don't know if I want to do a second major generally. But beyond majors, I'm really happy that my school does offer a lot of programs that are really insane. We have an undergraduate research opportunity program, which is basically the school gives you money and basically finances your undergraduate research. I had a friend that literally traveled across the United States researching railroads or something like that, and the school paid 100% of it. There's also programs that where they basically take you abroad, which is insane. I'm in one of the programs right now called Global Scholars, where basically you intern abroad for 2 or 3 months in a developing country, which offers so much like value and experience in that and as on its own. Like if you're thinking about studying abroad but you don't know if you want to do it for a full semester, this is definitely a program that would be good for you. You really want to get involved in, not only because you get experience, but then you start interacting with professors and counselors and staff that work at FSU, and that can take you a lot of places, especially when you're looking for recommendation letters. You just start building personal relationships with some of these people, so I really recommend it. Just go into the programs. Obviously FSU is there, like they have so many things to offer, and I really encourage you to take advantage of it because the amount of stuff that we have that other schools don't is insane, and so like really you're being spoiled here. The second thing about FSU that most people already know is how beautiful of a school it is. I know that the school was trying to cut down on the budget that we have for landscaping, but the board was like completely against it because we really take pride in the aesthetic of our campus. It's one of the prettiest, not speaking biasly here because I did tour a lot of campuses, it's one of the prettiest in the state, and it's so nice to see it in spring. There's this place called Landis Green, and the entire, it's basically like the headquarters of like the green space on campus. It's beautiful, and on top of that we have red brick instead of brown brick, which is kind of gross. We have red brick buildings for our dorms and for our buildings for classes. They're super beautiful, and it's just like a really nice campus to see. The landscapers here, obviously they take care of it like 24/7. They're always gardening and things like that, so in the spring you start seeing the flowers bloom, which is what we're seeing now, and it's so nice. A lot of people take picnics on Landis Green, or they go there to study. It's really nice, and honestly if you're into that, if you really want like an outdoorsy school, it's the place to be. That brings me to the third pro about FSU. The outdoor life is insane here. Like a lot of people on campus really like rowing, they really like hiking. There's a lot of beautiful parks around here with the city itself, like Tallahassee takes care of the parks we have, which is really nice because honestly everyone here ends up owning a dog. Also these dogs are like huge. Like if you have like a Chihuahua, it's like laughable almost, like you have a Chihuahua. Like a lot of people here have Labradors. Like it's a big dog type of place, and it's really great because people even bring their dogs to Landis Green, and so you just see like a lot of dogs in campus, which is amazing. I know a lot of people that do rock climbing in their free time, obviously off campus. The outdoor life here is really insane, so if you're into that, check it out. Next thing that I have to say is the school size is amazing. That's definitely a pro in my opinion. There's like 30,000, I think it was 33,000 undergrads at FSU, which is a lot. You might not like it if you want to go to like a more personal school or something like the size of a community college, but I personally like bigger schools just because that means that you get to meet more people. The more people that are on campus, the more clubs there are. There's hundreds of clubs on campus. Last semester I did like a fitness club, I did like a debate, like mock trial, if you've heard of that. I did so many extracurriculars, and this semester I didn't do as many because I knew I was going to take on a higher course load, but I'm also interning, so there's so many options to have in terms of clubs and opportunities just because there's so many people, and just because there are a lot of students, that means there's going to be more staff, which is a really great benefit when you need guidance in terms of your academic life. The next thing that I really love about FSU is the rent here. The rent is so cheap, and I don't mean the dorming rent because I can make a whole other video about dorming on campus. Spoiler, I hate it, don't do it. But the rent around campus is really nice. For a 2-2, I know they can start at like $500 for a 2-2, which is an insane price. That's definitely getting spoiled because I know in South Florida for a 2-2, like at least $1,000, like $2,000 to be honest. Down here it's the complete opposite. You start at $500. I know I'm renting a place next semester that has a total of like $640 around there for a 3-3, which is insane because it comes with stainless steel appliances. It gets really nice. So I'm very thankful for the rent that we have here, and if rent is an issue that you're concerned about depending on the school you go to, don't worry because Tallahassee is gonna have you covered. The rent is not gonna be too expensive, so it's gonna be great. You're gonna have money like saved up, or you're gonna have a little bit more wiggle room so you can go out on the weekends and things like that. All right, and on the topic of Tallahassee, obviously one of the pros here is being in the capital of Florida. This is gonna be amazing for like criminal justice or pre-law, like international affair majors. Like you're gonna love it here. There's so many law firms, there's so many like government buildings, so that means a lot of internships. The internships we have here are insane. I've been on Handshake, which is basically the site where you look up internships associated with Florida State. It's really good for like social sciences, criminal justice, business majors. I've seen so many opportunities for jobs and internships for those majors. So if you're really interested in getting an internships here, like if you're a junior and you really just want to get your foot in the door somewhere, this is a place to do it because there's so many opportunities. So now we're going to switch to the cons, which is kind of like a flip of the pros because there's pros and cons to everything. So even though location is a pro for like majors like mine, I think it's going to be a con for STEM majors because I was looking on Handshake last night and I don't see a lot of STEM internships. Maybe there's a completely other different site, or you guys do internships through the hospital directly without FSU intervention. I'm not sure how that works, but there's not a lot of internships for STEM if that's something you were looking for. I'm not sure that FSU is recognized as a big STEM school, but it still is good in academics. So just definitely consider it, do your research, and if there's a program that you really want to be a part of at FSU, definitely go for it. The second con that FSU has is basically being in Tallahassee. Like, yes, it's nice that we live in the capital in terms of opportunities for internships, but it sucks because Tallahassee is a small town. Like, I come from South Florida, I'm from Broward. Like, FSU is literally, like, Tallahassee is literally like a rural town in my opinion. We only have one mall, really small. There's not a lot to do here, which sucks because I'm used to like going out on the weekends and doing things. The party scene as a result is huge here, which if you love partying, like you're gonna love it here. It does get you off track though, so like beware if you don't have a lot of self-control, this might not be the school for you. But the party scene is huge here. I know people that go out 4 times a week, 3 times a week at least, including weekdays. I didn't know that coming here it would be like such a small town because I only toured it once. I would have definitely thought twice about it, but at the same time, it's not something to deter you if you really like the school like I did. I find other stuff to do. It's like I said, it's a really big outdoors life. So I'm kind of exploring like the outdoorsy girl in me. We're getting there. The next thing that is a con about FSU specifically is parking. The parking on campus sucks. Like you just won't find parking. You need to, if you want to take your car, you need to be on campus before 8. If you're taking a 9:30 class, don't even think about it. There's just not going to be parking. Usually people take the bus or they walk to campus. So if you love your car and you need to take it to campus, you either this might not be the school for you, or you just need to wake up super early to make sure you get a parking spot. Because I know people that have waited so long for a parking spot that they ended up missing their class. Like there was not even a point to going to class. At the same time though, I would say that at the last college I went to, parking was hard as well. It wasn't impossible by any means. It was just hard and inconvenient because you would have to park far away. But on FSU campus, it's not even inconvenient. It's literally impossible. Like there's just no parking on campus. So it really sucks, like if you're trying to get to your class. Next thing about FSU that I do not like is like the architecture, not of FSU, but like Tallahassee. It's really weird. There's a lot of one-ways and hills. It's hilly and you're like coming over the hill and then suddenly it's a one-way and you didn't even realize it, so you have to brake really fast. I don't like hills because you have to like put your emergency brake on, and that just makes me super nervous when I park literally on an incline. Like beyond that, it's just like you're trying to get into a plaza, and again, more traffic. there's only one entrance to a plaza that's super busy and has like the main grocery store, you know what I'm saying? So it's like super like obscure like entrances and exits. It's really dumb, like the architect, like I don't know who designed the layout, like the blueprints of the city, but it's really annoying. Also, the Capitol looks like a penis, not gonna lie, so whoever got scammed into building it that way, it's actually really funny and an ongoing joke in Tallahassee. I'll insert a picture here. It's kind of funny, but obviously like respect out to like the Capitol or whatever. The next con that I have is mostly about FSU, although it does apply to the city itself, but there's no diversity on campus. Like FSU is a very white school. There's a lot of white people, and if you're into that, like great, go for it. Like that's you. If you're white and you want to be like with your brethren or whatever, it's the school for you. But for me, I'm just super used to be like living in South Florida and like being around a lot of ethnicities and people. It's just, I love it so much. So coming here was kind of like a super huge like shock, because it made me like really reflect on how the rest of the US is, because I'm kind of spoiled living in South Florida, being around so much diversity, and then coming here it's like, whoa, like you really start to realize like, wow, like there's not a lot of diversity. And for me, that was something that really bothered me in the beginning. Obviously I'm adjusting, but it's still something to think about. If you want to be around diversity, like it may not be the school for you. If you're black and you want to be around other black people, FAMU is definitely like the HBCU that's also in Tallahassee. So that school might be for you if you're interested, but FSU is definitely white, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest, because there's a lot of like Trump supporters on campus. I wish there was more diversity, but it's not that bad. All right, so that was my pro and con list about FSU. Consider what I said, because I have lived it. I go to FSU, so I know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, if this is a school that you really want to go to, do your research, visit here more than one time. Also, the tours are very selective, the ones that they have here. I've seen them, they always go to they always show you like the nice dorms. They don't really show you like the really bad dorms. Obviously, they're trying to sell it to you. I wish someone would have told me to consider like the city itself, not just the school, because I like fell in love with FSU campus and the academics. So that's why I really wanted to come here. But then when I came here, I realized, wow, like I go to school like Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends, all there is to do is party, because Tallahassee is such a small town. So it was a big shock for me, and something I had to like learn how to like deal with. But take everything I say with a grain of salt. I encourage you to just do your research. Those are just some of the things that I love and some of the things I hate about like FSU/Tallahassee. So I hope this really helped you make your decision easier. Hopefully it did. Hopefully I didn't stir the pot too much. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe down below if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.